Darkness had crept over the land of Egypt. The cries of Hebrew slaves echoed through stone corridors and sun-scorched fields. For 400 years their labor built the empire of pharaohs, their backs bent under the weight of cruelty. But prophecy stirred. A child once drawn from the waters had returned. Moses, prophet of the Most High. With staff in hand and fire in his voice, he stood before Pharaoh and declared, "Thus says the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness." Exodus chapter 5, verse 1. Pharaoh's heart, like sun-hardened clay, refused to yield, and so the heavens began to speak. The Nile turned to blood. Thus says the Lord, "By this you shall know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will strike the waters which are in the river with the rod that is in my hand, and they shall be turned to blood." Frogs, lice, and flies swarmed the cities. Livestock died. Boils broke out on flesh. Hail fell like divine artillery. Locusts devoured the last green leaf. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, darkness which may even be felt." Exodus chapter 10, verse 21. And then came darkness, thick, unnatural, choking. Each plague was a strike against Egypt's gods, exposing their impotence before the God of Israel. Still, Pharaoh hardened his heart. Pharaoh defied the Almighty, and so the final warning came like a whisper from the grave. At midnight, the silence was shattered. The angel of death passed through Egypt, cloaked in silence and divine wrath. In every Egyptian home, the firstborn fell, from palace to the prison. The gods were silent, the cries were unbearable. But in every Hebrew house where the lamb's blood marked the doorway, the angel passed over. For the Lord will pass through to strike the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood on the lintel and on the two doorposts, the Lord will pass over the door and not allow the destroyer come into your houses to strike you. Exodus chapter 12, verse 23. That night the power of obedience triumphed over terror. Pharaoh, broken at last, summoned Moses. "Go, leave my people." And so began the great Exodus. By torchlight and faith, the nation walked out of bondage. Then he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, "Rise, go out from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go, serve the Lord as you have said." Exodus chapter 12, verse 31. They left with unleavened bread, the bones of Joseph. They were no longer slaves, but a people chosen. The angel of death did not return that night, but his passing would echo for generations. So it shall be when your son asks you in time to come, saying, "What is this?" that you shall say to him, "By strength of hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." Exodus chapter 13, verse 14. A people freed by plagues and preserved by promise. And though Egypt stood no more as it was, its gods fallen, its pride broken, the memory remained. The angel of death walks not in wrath alone, but as a messenger of justice and a shadow of redemption.